What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trading Crypto. It's been a while since I posted a video, but today we're going to be going over Bitcoin. This is going to be pretty unscripted, just looking at different indicators, looking at the market sentiment as a whole, drawing some fibs, looking at some channels, indicators, so on and so forth. So with that, let's get into the price prediction and technical analysis on Bitcoin. All right, everybody, let's get into Bitcoin here. So I've had this channel drawn for a while now, if you've been watching the channel. So this actually has been valid since January of 2023, believe it or not. Outside the slight deviation we got in January 2018, this has been pretty dang accurate in my personal opinion, going from high to low, high to low, high to low. So if that is the case here, there is that opportunity or chance that Bitcoin could be heading back down to the bottom of this channel, which is a nasty $43,000 Bitcoin. I know you don't want to hear that, and that's absolutely disgusting, but technically speaking, it is possible. On top of that, if we look at the weekly WTX, every time we've gotten a sell signal here, that has been calling a local top. Now, I don't think Bitcoin's tops in yet. I think Bitcoin's probably going up to, top of the channel here sometime on end of this year, 2025. But you can't deny that every time we've gotten a sell signal down here in the WTX, it has called a top. It has been an optimal time to sell on the weekly. And you can see we did get three of them right down here, 1, 2, 3. And every time we've gotten one on the weekly so far has been the optimal time to sell. And we did get one on June 10th right here, which since then we have fallen quite a bit. Something interesting as well is if we look at the RSI here on the weekly, every time we've been overbought and retraced, it has called the top on BTC as well. If we go back to January 2021, we got a top right here on the RSI, and you can see that was the top for Bitcoin. Prior to that, we got a overbought signal right here, which was the top for Bitcoin. Back to 2013, we got a top right here. That was the top for Bitcoin. So a lot of indicators are saying the top is in right now. I don't think that's the case, but you never know, man. Crypto's a wild, wild game. On top of that, you look at the MACD. The MACD is super bearish right now. Huge engulfing candle on the bear side on the weekly. Last time we were this bearish was back in June of 2022, which if we look at June 2022 was right about here. Last time we had the MACD, which sent us to the bottom of this channel. So I still think that bottom of the channel is at play, and then we can rally to the upside from that point on. I know the market's absolute garbage right now. Something interesting I want to point out for you guys as well is the not WTX, the Fibonacci, the lifelong Fibonacci here from the high to the low. So if you go high to low right here, obviously on the log, you really don't see a whole lot. But if you take off log and um, look at A, you can actually see we broke below the 786 area right here at 60,000. As soon as we broke below that, we had this huge bearish engulfing candle here. There is a 618 sitting right here at about 47,000 for Bitcoin. So that's something I'll be looking for here. Bitcoin possibly heading down to 47 before we see a reversal back to the upside from that point on. You can see that 47 was a pretty heavy resistance back here in April of 2022. It was a support back here in 2021, and then we did have some price volatility around it in September of 2021 as well. So us being below the 786 right here, unfortunately, is slightly bearish, and there is a 618 support at around 47,000. So I am going to be keeping an eye on 47,000 for a possibility. And then if you draw your fibs from this high to this low right here, similar situation, there's a micro 618 at about 51,000. So believe between 51,000 and 47,000, I would say would have to be our support. If we broke below that, man, then Bitcoin's dead. So there's 52, we're gonna drop it down to 47, 47, 46. Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, has to stay above this box. There's a good chance that we probably will be heading into this box, I would have to say. So background will change that green as support, and we'll keep that box drawn there and see what Bitcoin does. Now, we're going to be looking at several different indicators here now. So we're going to be kind of going off script, just bopping around, looking at different indicators, see if we can find anything interesting for BTC. So I got a bunch of different indicators here that I've used. I haven't used them in a very, very long time, such as stochastic RSI. So the stochastic RSI works on a better, in my personal opinion, on the long-term time frame. So let's get these out of here. So we just have one indicator. So for the long-term time frame, such as the monthly, you can see every time that we've topped out on the stochastic has pretty much called the top for BTC every time. We've had a decent size retracement every time we've broken back below 81 once we broke above it. And very unfortunate, it did happen again right here, February 1st. We got a top on the stochastic and we're starting to fall right now on BTC. So that's kind of concerning in my personal opinion. I know everyone's looking for that blow off top, and it's very scary right now. It is very, very scary. I still think we're going to be going up much, much higher. I don't think the top's in, but a lot of prior indicators that have been valid for the lifelong of BTC are kind of showing that the top's kind of flashing in. So hopefully we see a reversal here on stochastic. If we look at the stochastic, this is the normal area in which Bitcoin topped out. We draw a horizontal line here. Look, every time we've touched that 100 mark on the stochastic, that has been the top for BTC. And the bad part about it is, if you look at that top, it's normally a nasty drop all the way back down for a reset, nasty drop, reset, nasty drop, reset, which is disgusting. And if we look at the general time frame between these tops, for example, where's my time frame? If we go from this high to this over here to where it topped out again, that's approximately 38 bars, right? So there's 38 bars from top to top. If we draw from this current top to this current top, similar situation, we're at 35 bars before it started capitulating. So it's around the same time frame in which we saw that fall. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking that the top's in 2025, and there's people starting to think the top's in 2024, but a lot of indicators right now are firing off that the top for BTC might be in. I don't think it is, but we can't ignore these indicators here. Do I think the bleed is done yet for BTC? I don't. I would be keeping an eye on these 618, that $50,000 support area, that green box that we talked about. So on the log, that's approximately, oh shoot, on the log, that's approximately the 786 on the short term right here, which we did just wick down to from 2022. So we did wick down to that support around 450, 53, but I would still be keeping an eye on these other micro fib areas, guys. It could get pretty dang gnarly out there. So I suggest going outside, touching some grass, and just not looking at the charts. Now, another thing we want to look at here is the volume profile. Now, I don't know if the volume profile will work on this large of a time frame, which it does not look like it's working in this large of a time frame. But if we go to the 1 day, we can kind of see the volume profile right here, how we just entered this price volume gap. As soon as we fell below that 62,000, we entered into this price volume gap right here, which caused this capitulation back down to the 786 at about 53. You can see the price volume cloud right here does pick back up around that 51,000, which if we go back, get our green box, that's where we had our green box. So we had our green box around that 50, that price explosion area there where the volume picks back up. If we did happen to break below that green box, similar situation, 42,000 is showing the main price volume cloud right here. So I mean, it could be nasty for a little while. Who knows? It could be nasty for the remainder of the summer until we pick up towards the end of the year. On top of that, I mean, we had this uptrend, this very, very nice uptrend since October 2023. That's when all altcoins bottomed, was October 2023. Very nice uptrend that we broke, unfortunately, which is causing this capitulation. Now, if you look at the secondary uptrend from November 2022 bottom, you can kind of see that the convergence area on that is around that 618 area for BTC. What I'm kind of hoping is if we do capitulate, we bop around here for a bit and then head down and rally back up. But there's a lot of stuff going on for BTC right now. I can't be bullish on it. There's a lot of things that are not bullish about BTC right now. And obviously you can tell with your altcoins, they're absolutely shitting the bed hard. So I've just been sitting on the sidelines here. I know I haven't been posting a lot of videos, but there's really nothing to post. If I do post, it gets like 50 views because no one's watching YouTube right now. So we're just kind of sitting on our hands right here and kind of seeing how things are going to play out. Now, a lot of people are saying this is the big dip before the parabolic phase, which it could be. I mean, normally we see a big capitulation before we start going straight up on BTC. For example, I think if we go to the weekly, we can see it more clearly, is the heavy capitulations before the BTC. Obviously, this was the COVID crash before he started running up. But if we clear all this out, similar situation happened right here. We went down, had the big capitulation, and then we started rallying pretty dang hard, which if we look at that general price drop, that general price drop is approximately, that's a 22% drop right there before we started going straight up. As of right now for BTC, we're at a 23% drop right now. So similar situation, heavy drop. I mean, that was a 1 week candle right there with a big drop. Look at this 1 week candle, very, very similar. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looking kind of like a miniature of this, doesn't it? We had the double top, the big McDonald's logo here. We got the other McDonald's logo right here saying, hey, get out of crypto, go start working at McDonald's. But similar situation, I think we're just in that capitulation before the run-up phase happened right here as well. We had that big drop. A lot of people G'd. A lot of people said the bear market's coming. And then you started rallying hard, which if you look at this was approximately 39% drop before we started rallying hard. And then you have this one right here. Now this is back in 2013, so there's not a whole lot of price data, but that was a 59% drop before you started going straight up. And then prior to this run up right here, you had a 32% drop. So this is pretty common in BTC. And if we look at the stochastics, normally when we see these capitulations, the stochastics at the bottom. For example, you see this heavy capitulation right here before we started running up. The weekly stochastic was way down here at negative 1.9. And then if you look at the heavy drop right here before we started that run up from 2017, the stochastic was all the way down here at negative 1 or about 1.45. And then before the run up here, we had the COVID crash with the stochastic was all the way down here at about 145. And look where the stochastic's at right now. We're down here at about negative 0.19. So we'll see what happens. Normally the stochastic on the weekly, every time we've bottomed out on the weekly, we've seen a decent rally. For example, the most recently we saw back here in September 2018, we bottomed on the stochastic. We ran up, we were overbought on the stochastic, saw the slight pullback. We were bottomed out in the stochastic, ran up again. So surprisingly, every time that we've gone down on the stochastic, we've saw decent sized retracements on Bitcoin. But personally, from March 11th to the bottom right now in the stochastics, we really have not fallen that much. I know it sucks. Bitcoin's been moving sideways pretty much all 2024. But if you look from the top to the bottom, that's only a 24% drop on BTC. BTC's dropped much more than that before going absolutely parabolic. So we're just going to sit tight here, guys. Probably won't be uploading content for a while. Once we start flipping bullish, we'll get back at it again. Just wanted to give you a little update on BTC, give you an update on the channel, post something for you guys. So with that, none of this is financial advice. And if there's any coins you'd like me to chart, you can just send me a super chat in the comments and I'll get to your coin as soon as possible. Thank you.